1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Pretty great, right? Pretty great. So what do you guys think? I mean, super legendary. We definitely hope you guys enjoyed the first look. That was just a portion of the presentation. We're going to have a lot of great stuff to watch. And shout out to everybody who's watching. We are streaming live right now on Facebook. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Thank you for being excited. We appreciate excitement and good energy in the room. We have some legends here that, of course, we should make some noise for and welcome appropriately. First of all, I loved it. I could watch these all day, and I could watch them on repeat. What is it like for you guys to watch? I was backstage watching Bobby watch Bobby. It was kind of surreal and cool. But what does that feel like for you?
Like you just said, it was surreal. Just seeing it and hoping that everybody appreciates just where it's coming from. It's coming from my heart. It's coming from my soul. So, you know, just being able to watch it and see everybody enjoy it was surreal.
Is it like pride? Are there moments of regret? Are there moments of all of it? I mean, all the emotions that happen?
There's a lot of emotions, no regrets.
Good for you.
I wouldn't be here today if I had regrets.
Yeah.
So.
I just want to take a moment before we go to officially introduce everybody. Sorry, I just kind of jumped into it because, you know, Bobby's sitting here and we just want, you know what I mean? Come on. So let's go from left to right. The King of R&B, Bobby Brown. Ladies and gentlemen. Hip-hop legend and icon, Ja Rule, ladies and gentlemen. Master, Grandmaster DJ and host of the Origins of Hip-Hop podcast, the legendary Grandmaster Caz. Guys, it's hard to follow this crew right here. But I will tell you, it's not only important to have legends and the people that, it's also important to have the people that document these stories. So we appreciate our next two guests. First of all, director of the Biography, Bobby Brown, J. Kevin Swain. And the executive producer of Origins of Hip-Hop, that is Slaine Hatch. Hello. It's a big night for everybody, right? All right, we're going to start with you, Bobby. Uh-oh. We got to start with you, Bobby. So I told them before, my first concert was New Edition concert. So watching this for us is probably different than it is for you, but it really takes us down a whole memory lane of the times and watching the ups and downs of you and the group. You just got back from tour with the group, right?
Yes, we just did. We just had a sold-out 30-city tour.
Yeah. Woo!
Which was, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Trust me. Doing the steps
You
now.
tired? You tired, Bobby?
Doing the steps now is not like when I was 14. You know, it takes a lot of icy hot and, you know, Ben Gay and, you know.
The tour was sponsored by Icy Hot.
It was sponsored by Icy Hot.
I'm always fascinated when people are able to go get past, you know, just beefs and resentments and hard feelings about things. And when we're watching this, we could tell that those feelings in those moments were really real. Like you were hurt, you were angry, they were hurt, they were angry, they were making decisions that maybe some of them they may regret, some of them they don't. But somehow you guys made it out of that.
Yeah, we grew up.
Yeah.
You know, on this last tour, I think we realized that we're 53, 55, 56, 57. No more time to fight. Mm-hmm. You know, it's only time to love each other. You know, we fought enough. Trust me, we fought enough.
Yeah, I could see that. But what was is there a moment or a thing, or is it just one day that a switch goes off? And because you could even see even when they're like complaining about him, You could you could see at this point as grown men when they're telling the stories that there's love. There's so much love there.
I think they complained about me because I was a badass.
We got that.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really difficult to work with. But that was
Accountability, people. Accountability is not to be. Yeah, there you go.
gotta have that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
There was a moment you said, I don't know that we saw it in this clip, but I got a privy to see some of the work, and you said that you were you had the spirit of Rick James. I forget how exactly you described your
Spirit of Rick James, the legs of Michael Jackson, and something else.
some other guy.
Yeah, some other dude. Elvis Presley, the hips of Elvis Presley or some shit.
Are you impressed with yourself when you look at your history and look what you've been able to survive and accomplish? And
I'm not done yet. You know, I think I'm just beginning. There's a lot more to me than just, you know, the gyrations and the dancing and the singing. So I'm looking forward to doing more.
And what do you hope people get from this? Because we've seen a lot. We saw. By the way, shout out to Woody who played you in the movie.
Woody.
Yeah, I know.
Woody!
Hi, Woody. He did a great job, right?
Woody!
New edition movie. Yeah. But what do you hope? Because we've seen your story before. We've seen the movies. What do you hope that people get from this that's special that maybe they haven't learned about you before?
That I'm just a normal guy. I'm just Bobby for all my life, but you know, God has made me the way that I am. You know, I know that God is still working with me. He's needed new tools to, you know, rebuild me. I'm not the bionic man, but you know, I am getting better.
By the way, feel free to. You got, you know, this is a conversation of love and family here. So if at any point you guys have something to add or jump, you know, feel free. This is not classroom.
Ja.
I won't yell at you if you jump.
Ja!
You and Ja have a nice little history.
All we need is a stage, guy.
I mean, the Ja and Bobby moment was pretty great.
Yes.
You guys have that to I mean, I can only imagine what the energy was like when you guys were working together. And what were those studio sessions like, Ja?
Man, oh man, me and Bob, man. First, we go back. We got brothers in common, like my brother BJ, and that's how we got close.
We all got brother BJ in common.
Brother BJ, right? We all got brother BJ in common. But that's how me and Bob got cool and close, and yeah, we got some stories. Probably not.
Because you probably came up. Yeah, I bet.
Not PG.
Yeah, not
but you probably came up watching his story too. So was he
Absolutely.
everything that you thought he would be?
I grew up wanting to be New Edition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you got routine. I know
Listen,
you got.
I was in, before I would rap, I was in like R&B groups and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I was the rapper in the group, but I was in the group. You know what I'm saying? So I really like, you know, I gravitated to what Bob was in New Edition too, because you know Bob would have rap parts and shit. You know, so that was like my role in the groups. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't sing. Yeah. So actually, when I started rapping, I brought the singing into the rapping because you know I kind of felt like I was both. You know.
He was the Bobby
so
Brown.
he was
He definitely holds his own.
Big influence.
For sure.
Man. Big influence.
As far as rapping and singing is
of
concerned.
course. I mean, you know, you have your own.
Big influence.
You
man.
have your own legacy yourself there, Mr. Rule. Yeah. Why did you want to tell this story now? Like, why was it important to you? And I'll ask you the same thing I asked Bobby. Like, what are we going to learn about you in this series? And what did you want to share in this series? Why was it important for you to do this story?
I think people will learn a lot from, you know, unlike Bob, my story hasn't been told too many times, like with documentaries and movies made after me and stuff like that.
Maybe Woody's available.
Woody,
Play Ja
I need
Rule
somebody now. BT, help me out. No, but
A&E got it.
A&E got me.
A&E got it.
But yeah, I just, you know, I think I get a lot of misconceptions of who I am as an artist and who I am as a person. And so
What
for
is-
me to do this,
What is the misconception?
I know it's a lot. You know, it's
Well, what are the things? Like, what are the things you like? Hey, that's not me, man.
I think people just don't know who I am, period. You know,
Really?
I'm an artist. Like, first and foremost, I'm a real artist. Like, I write, you know, I do all the things that people don't think that I probably do, if that makes any sense.
I think we think you do it.
No, you know, because, you know,
I think we think he does it, right?
I think-
Like,
I think-
we look at him like a real
I think
artist.
people see rappers as rappers.
Yeah.
And there's more layers to me than that. And I think with this, people get to see a little bit more of that. You know, people don't know that I write like R&B records, pop records, all of these, you know,
Yeah.
people don't know that, you know, and I don't get to speak on it too much, so, you know, I get my chance.
And we get to see your mom.
Yeah, you know, it was crazy. I was watching that, I was getting emotional in the back because watching her relive some of those moments. She's not an entertainer. So when you sit, you know, people down, like your family members, to relive these stories, it's different for them because it you know, it brings back those painful moments, you know, and for her to sit there and talk about my pops and what they went through and, you know, the abusive relationship and things like that, I know that's tough for her. So me watching it, it's like, it's hitting me like that, and I'm feeling her emotions. And
Yeah.
and,
She's
you know,
probably so proud of you.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her though, more than she can ever be proud of me.
Really?
Because it's very tough to raise a son by yourself, a single mother. And yeah,
Shout
there's
out
some
to all the
single mamas in here.
Single moms, what's up?
Yeah. It's a 24-hour job, and you know, she had my back and I had to have her back, and we were like, you know, it was us against the world. My mom was only 20 years older than me, so she had me when she was young.
Whew.
Yeah, and I followed those footsteps and had my daughter when I was 20. And so I'm going through this as she's going through this. We're going through this together. I had my daughter just as my music career was, you know, starting to come about. And, you know, it was tough. My mom, she'd look at me, and I remember this moment like it was yesterday, and she said, look, she said, I know you're trying to do this music thing and all that. You got a daughter now, and maybe you should think about, like, getting a real job. Like,
Ja, what would you do, Ja?
I looked at her with the most sincere answer that I could give. I said, Ma, I'm nice. And I took my shot.
I'm good with mine, Mom.
Word, I'm good with mine.
I got this over here. When was the first time that you were made aware of the great Grandmaster Caz over there?
Man, come on, man. Caz's history, his hip-hop history.
Yeah, of course.
This is,
But
when you talk of origins of hip-hop, you have to speak of Caz,
of course,
Mel, and you know.
Mel is here, I believe, still, right? There he goes.
Come on, baby. Come
Oh, baby, baby,
on, baby. What up, Mel?
Mel.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to speak of these
Yeah.
brothers that pioneered, paved the way for artists like me to even think that they can do this, to be possible. When you think of hip hop, just imagine what this is. I want everybody to really understand what hip hop is. It is a genre of music that was created by young black men in the Bronx. And right now, today, it's the #1 genre of music, period.
There was a few women. There was a few women there too, John.
No, of course. Listen, women were definitely there to pioneer this thing with us, with the fellas. But shout out to Shantae.
For sure. For sure.
Yep, shout rock. But you know, people don't understand what hip hop means to people like me and Caz and every other hip hop artist that you see. It's just like
Me too.
For Bob, it's like life
Me
or
too.
death.
Me too.
This industry was life or death. If I didn't do music, I would probably not be here. And
Yeah.
that's my honest
Yeah.
reality.
Kaz, what is that like for you to, you know, I always think about that people that were here before us and people that really paved the way. Do you still feel as connected to maybe the the newer generation? And do you feel pride in the path that you have paved for so many?
Most definitely. For me, hip hop is like a roller coaster. It started on its wheels, but once it goes through all those turns and flips, you don't know what direction it's going to go in. But guess what? It always ends up back on its wheels. All right, so any of those twists, turns that it takes, you got to accept those and appreciate those as well. Okay, as long as the foundation is deeply embedded in the culture, hip-hop will always be hip-hop.
I love that. We're getting ready. I'm sure a lot of people in this room know this, but we're getting ready for hip-hop to turn 50.
50 years old next year.
Which is a big deal, right? So what do you think are some of the highlights, and why do you think this time now is so important to share, some of these stories and these moments? And
I think it's always been important to share these stories. If we don't write and document our own history, then someone else will.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of inaccuracies in that documentation. No one can tell your story like yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why these documentaries are important. Programs like this are important so artists themselves can tell the stories. Everybody has generalizations about them. Like Jaja said, people don't really know me. Like, they know the persona, they know the songs, they know what they heard in media, but they don't know me as a person. You know what I mean? And I think this is going to reveal all of these guys as artists, as people, and be seen in a light that they haven't been seen in before. And it's important to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. What are we gonna learn about you, Caz? Like, what are we gonna learn about you?
Well, I'm doing the podcast for the origins of hip hop, and what you'll learn about me. Are you sharing
your stories?
What you'll learn about me is I am deeply embedded into this culture. And from day one, I'm the go-to guy, as far as what's what, and really, articulating the culture to the masses, and that's what's important. That's my role. As an OG in hip-hop right now, not to make hit records, not to try to get on awards or anything like that. That era's pretty much past for me. If it happens, cool. But I'm at the time of my life where it's time to give back this information so that the next generation knows that this culture is yours by birthright.
When you were young and you were at the the beginning of this, could you even imagine this?
I'll walk off this stage right now. You ask me that question. Listen, people ask me that all the time. Did you ever think that hip-hop would grow to these?
Hip-hop would take it this far.
I would
in the limelight, 'cause
I would really be remiss. I would be remiss to sit up here and say, I knew that hip-hop would be this big and not have that much of a stake in it. Yeah. Okay, I had no idea that hip-hop would grow to these proportions. I thought it would be cool. I thought that anybody that would see this or would listen to this would like it.
Yeah.
And I was right about that. I just didn't know the scope.
Not even when you heard the message?
Not by the time I heard the message. I mean, the commercialization of hip hop was on. Yeah. It was pretty much out of our hands by then.
That was a changing point for a lot of people. For me, the message changed my life for sure.
Well, what the message signaled in, it was, it kind of was a stamp of approval that, you know what, this is saying something.
Yeah.
There are some messages. There can be something that's valuable out of these conversations that we're getting. And it started with the message. Salute to my brother, Grandmaster Melly Mel. Right?
Melly Mel.
Yes. Who made it global for us.
So, J. Kevin Swain, he's the executive producer of the Bobby Brown. Hi. So it is important, clearly, to tell these stories. So we thank you for your work on this project. What is it like working with Bobby Brown and telling this Bobby Brown story?
It was great. I mean, Bobby was a great human being. It was fun. We've traveled. We've seen quite a bit of the world. We've seen Belize, Switzerland, LA, of course, Boston. Where else have we been, Bobby? A few places. Atlanta. We got around a bit, so it's been fun. But it's been a beautiful production because he's honest. And we have a relationship dates back years. So we have a trust factor. It's already there. We're brothers. I'm going to say I'm uncle to his kids. So it's a different thing. It's not a job. It really is like, okay, we're doing this as responsibility.
Yeah. But was there, even when you know somebody, sometimes in a process like this, there's things that come up that maybe surprised even you?
I was surprised at how generous Bobby is. I mean, really, really genuinely giving of himself, of his resources and his time. I mean, you see a video, you don't think that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this cat is cool.
Yeah.
So it makes work a whole lot easier. And his wife, Felicia, she's on point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Let me say that one more time.
That's a boss
Felicia
right
is on
there.
point.
There is a part in the doc that I remember seeing Bobby when he got the name, when you got the street named after you or the avenue named after you, and you said something to speak to what you're saying. You said that you were like almost shy about it. You were like, I'm not used to receiving. I'm more like of a giver. Like it almost made you uncomfortable to get that type of praise and that type of. I'm so surprised by that after all these years.
Why? You know me.
Yeah, but people fan out over you all over the world for so many years. I would think that you would be comfortable in that space by now. No.
Not yet. No, I'm not.
No, still not comfortable. But to go to what you were saying, that he's more of a giving person.
And that's beautiful to see because it makes it's not about the job. It's the experience, it's relationship. It is about documenting culture, like you were saying about how important it is to do these documentaries. I mean, I'm a student of documentaries, concert films, and I feel good about being a part of hip-hop. I mean, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
My hip-hop moments are nice.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Source Awards, those first two, and Wu-Tang, and Biggie, and Puppy, and Snoop.
Brag on
Dre,
your work.
all those
Brag on
cats.
your work,
I'm just-
sir. Listen, he has a career span that goes from, like he's saying, from back in the day all the way to like Summer Walker, and he's been at it for a really long time. So that they didn't hire somebody, some new guy to put this together.
But it's great to be a part of it, is my whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any talent like these cats have. I can't sing or dance or rap.
Yeah.
I can shoot something, though, you know?
What do you think the takeaway for people is going to be from this doc?
Empathy. That Bobby is a real human being. I mean, media does what media does. We gotta sell magazines, you gotta sell commercials, you gotta sell records. But at the end of the day, this is a human being who has suffered and has recovered and is still thriving and is still living and still giving to the world. That is the giveaway, the takeaway.
Beautiful. Yeah, and he has suffered and been through so much, and he's such and the fact you're still so gracious and your spirit is so warm. As a director and a friend, do you have to take certain kind of like sensitivities, or was it just an easy story to tell because he is so open?
Well, we sat down from the very beginning and said, look, we've got 4 hours to tell a story. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. Thank you, Annie, for that. That's great. You don't get that too often.
Yeah.
That's 1 hour is a lot, but 4? Well, come on. So we constructed it in a way to say, look, start from the beginning. Let's get really into it, and just hold nothing back. And let's get into it so people will know who you are and how you've become. And I thank the team at A&E. I really thank my mentor, Lauren Lazen and Brad Abramson, for making this thing happen. And I think everybody's gonna love it. It's a great piece of work. Not because I did it, but I'm just saying. But Bobby's very honest.
Talk your talk.
No. But Bobby's very generous in giving of his time and of himself. And that's, I think, the takeaway.
Yeah. So Slaine, of course, is the executive producer of The Origins of Hip-Hop. And so for you, I think, just to speak to what me and Caz were talking about, being the 50th anniversary of hip-hop is a really big deal. How much did that play into how you kind of approached putting this story together?
I think with each one, I mean, with Ja's story, in each story, we have 8 different stories.
Yeah.
And I don't have 4 hours like he got to do an hour. So
You
we
feel
have
some-
an hour in each one to tell
You're a little
stories.
salty? You're a little salty about it?
Right, yeah, like so. But I think I tried to approach it with going after them as an artist. And I think so many times with doing television, people want to hear about always just the pitfalls and the BS that comes with it, but I wanted to understand what made them iconic. And so I really dug into their life to focus on, you're an artist, you're a legend, and what is it that made you tick? And within that, there's life things that happen as well.
Of course. What are some of the surprises? What are some of the moments that
The beauty of Origins, I have 8 different stories, and while it's all under the umbrella of hip hop, there
Yeah.
are 8 different stories.
Super different.
Super different.
Yeah.
Joe is not the same as Ice-T, who's not the same as Ja Rule, who's
Or
not
Eve.
the same as Little John or Eve.
Yeah.
They're all unique. And I really tried to go after one and give each story its own space to breathe.
And how did you decide who the characters would be or who the stories would be around?
Well, A&E, Mass Appeal and A&E, as we got in, they had their list and they went through, and so they picked.
Yeah.
And there's a massive list, and
It was a good list.
it was a massive list that you try to get and you whittle it down, and we'd like to get another season and do more because there's so many more stories to tell. And the beauty of this show is I really wanted, like with Ja, to tell his story, not network or someone to tell me what you want the story to be. And Mass Appeal and A&E was great with that. They really went into saying, let's find out what their story and how they felt. And so Ja sat on a 6-hour journey with me as we sat in an interview and told his story.
Love that. I noticed Nas is narrating.
Yes,
Is he doing all of them?
he does all of it.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
I mean, it's amazing.
Dope.
Yeah.
Nas's voice and understanding, to have his voice lent to it and his understanding of the story, also his own, in a sense, his own trials and tribulations and things and journey that he went through. So when he's sitting there narrating a Ja Rule or an Ice-T, there's an understanding for him. I think at one point we were doing Busta, and he's like, I gotta text Busta right now. This is crazy.
Yeah. Because what you realize too is a lot of artists, they're artists, but I've been in business for a long time. I'm still a fan.
You're a fan.
And even the artists, you might be an artist, but you're still a fan. We're all still fans of the culture, I think. And so to get Busta on, Busta's probably just as excited to see and hear what's happening.
Yeah, and they all really open up about something special for each of them. Busta opens up about what turned him into an MC, and who that was. Ice opens up his journey. You heard Fat Joe talk about to get somebody before the day of FloJo.
One thing about that Fat Joe, he knows how to tell a story.
He gonna tell a story. Yeah, Joe would tell a story.
You probably have a lot of footage.
Joe told me when we started, they said, okay, you got an hour and a half. Now my interviews, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this done. 3.5 hours in, Joe goes, I thought we told him we have an hour and a half. He can tell a story.
He's a great storyteller.
Yes, he-
You're all great storytellers. Thank you so much for sharing your stories tonight. I hope you guys really loved it.
Thank you so much.
Is there any? I mean, you have a room full of people and fans and supporters and people who. Is there anything that we should be? I don't know, Bobby, that you want people to know that's coming soon? Ja, Caz, and the podcast, of course. And people are watching on Facebook too, so you might want to promote the podcast.
All right, what's up? It's your boy. It's the grandest of them all, leaving your mama for Grandmaster Caz. I'm on Rock the Bells Radio Monday through Friday. LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio with my girl Sha Rock. Our show is called That's the Joint. Check it out. And I am the host of the A&E Origins of Hip-Hop podcast that accompanies the A&E Origins of Hip-Hop that you'll see. So after the show, I'll be diving a little deeper into the stories that you see in the Origins of Hip-Hop show. So that's what's up with me.
Dope.
Bobby, you going back on tour or you going to rest?
I'm going back on tour.
You are? Yay!
Yeah, I gotta make sure these legs keep moving.
Yes.
I can't rest them too long.
That's got to keep moving all the
Yes.
time. And Ja?
Just download my new social live streaming app Icon. It's in the Apple App Store, and you can watch original content like my new Vibes concert series, and you'll see a lot of cool artists do their classic albums to live bands and good stuff.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, so
Keep going, guys.
check it out.
Thank you so much for a great conversation. We appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who was watching on the AETV Facebook Live. Make sure you guys follow at AETV across all social media platforms, and you'll get the latest information on these projects and hopefully more projects that we'll see coming soon from this series. And then don't forget the incredible projects they're premiering this Memorial Day, and of course only on A&E. So thank you guys. Make sure you watch. Make sure you support. Post. Tell your friends. And thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate you. Oh,
I don't like authority. I don't like people telling me what to do. That's the same goes for, you know, being on the road and wanting to live my life and be the person that I wanted to be. Label wanted us to dress in a certain kind of way. They had some designer, he was totally wrong with his outfits. Eventually, I would look at what the group was wearing and I would wear the total opposite.
You gave us character. You know, we was clean apple pie. At least they was trying to make us that way.
Right.
Man, you came in and stuck a fork in all of that, man.
when y'all told me y'all was doing a photo shoot one day and Bobby took the tie and made a headband.
I didn't use none of their clothes. I had my Guess jeans on, my Guess shirt.
Right.
So y'all want me different? Give me the tie. If you look at the Count Me Out album, all of their outfits are terrible. Terrible, horrible outfits. And if you look at my outfit, you'll see that I have a normal black shirt on, beige pants. All I have is a tie around my head. That's the only thing that I used of that wardrobe. Other than that, I was wearing what I walked off the street in.
Biography Bobby Brown two-night event premieres Memorial Day only on A&E.
I used to throw money at people at the Apollo. To now this week, amateur night at the Apollo, Fat Joe. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, yo, this is Joey Crack. And I wanted it that bad.
I was like, this guy's crazy. Like, not to say nothing, but he's Puerto Rican. And most of the Apollo is, you know, not Puerto Rican. So they think he's gonna do some Puerto Rican stuff up there. Hey, Edie Chacon up there, like, just dancing his ass off, doing some Spanish stuff, like, and you know, he's doing some real hip hop up there.
Came in first place, it like that just changed my life.
You had to be tough and talented to get on the Apollo stage and win once. He won 3 times. But I remember the chorus was, he had a chick going, he's a big shot. Fat Joe is a big shot, you know. It's crazy now, but yo, fam won 3 times in a row.
Origins of Hip-Hop, narrated by Nas. Premieres Memorial Day only on A&E.